So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Klute, 1971, U.S. neo-noir crime thriller film. Directed and produced by Alan J. Paluka, my new most hated director, who also did All the President's Men, which I also hated. Written by Andy and Dave Lewis and starring Jane Fonda, Hanoi Jane, Donald Sutherland, Charles Cioffi, and Roy Scheider. I'm giving this 1 out of 5 stars. This is going to be another Adrian mention. I hated this flick. The film follows a high-priced call girl who assists a detective in solving a missing persons case. It is the first installment of what has informally come to be known as Pakula's Paranoia trilogy. The other 2 films are The Parallax View, which I have not seen, 1974, and All the President's Men, 1976. Klute was theatrically released in the United States on June 25, 1971 by Warner Brothers to critical and commercial success. Reviewers praised the film's direction, screenplay, and most notably Fonda's performance, while the film grossed over $12 million. Gets the $2.5 million budget. It received 2 nominations at the 44th Academy Awards, Best Original Screenplay, and Fonda winning Best Actress. All right. Adrian was in the chat room, but I think he gave up on me because it took me forever to pick up my son. They coned off the on-ramp on the freeway, so that caused a 15-minute delay. Sorry about that. A Pennsylvania chemical company executive, Tom Gruneman, disappears. The police find an obscene letter in Gruneman's office addressed to a New York City prostitute named Bree Daniel, who had received several such letters. After 6 months of fruitless police work, Peter Cable, a fellow executive at Gruneman's company, hires family friend and detective John Klute to investigate Gruneman's disappearance. Klute rents an apartment in the basement of Bree's building, taps her phone, follows her as she turns tricks. Bree appears to enjoy the freedom of freelancing as a call girl while auditioning for acting and modeling jobs, but she reveals the emptiness of her life to her head shrinker psychiatrist. Bree refuses to answer Klute's questions at first. After learning that he has been watching her, Bree says she does not recognize Gruneman. She acknowledges being beaten by John 2 years earlier, but cannot identify Gruneman from a photo. Bree takes Klute to meet her former pimp, Frank Ligorin, played by Roy Scheider, who managed Jay McKenna, a prostitute who referred the abusive client to Bree. McKenna has apparently committed suicide, and their other colleague Arlen Page has since become a drug addict, and she has disappeared. Klute and Bree develop a romance, although she tells her head shrinker psychiatrist that she wishes she'd go back to just feeling numb, turning tricks. She tells Klute she is paranoid that she is being watched. They find Page, who tells them that the photo of Gruneman is not the client, who is an older man instead. Page's body is later found in the river. Klute connects the suicides of the 2 prostitutes, surmising that the client was using Gruneman's name. He also thinks that the client killed Gruneman and might kill Bree next. Klute revisits Gruneman's acquaintances. By typographical comparison, the obscene letters are traced to Cable, to whom Klute has been reporting during his investigation. Klute asks Cable for money to buy the black book of McKenna's clients to learn the identity of the abusive client. He leaves enough breadcrumbs to see whether Cable reveals his own complicity in the murders. Cable follows Bree to the client's office and reveals that he sent her the letters after Gruneman accidentally found him physically abusing McKenna. Cable was worried Gruneman would use the incident to sabotage his career. Cable tried to frame Gruneman by planting the letter in his office. After playing an audio tape he made as he murdered Page, he attacks Bree. When he sees Klute rushing, Cable abruptly lurches backward to get away, crashing through the window to his death. Bree moves out of her apartment with Klute's help. And that's the end of the movie. Fonda had doubts about whether she could portray the role. Fonda's first concern was that she, as a nascent feminazi, should not even be playing a prostitute. Fonda confided this concern to a more long-standing feminazi who disabused her of this notion. All right. So Jane Fonda won Best Actress in 1971 for this film. Also nominated Best Original Screenplay. All right, it gets a whopping 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 27,000 ratings. I'm going to go flip my my pork chops. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I was reading one of the reviews and kind of I kind of agree with it. Oscar must have been a lot lower in 1971, first of all. I hated Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland in FTA. They were in another film together, FTA. Remember that one? The automations in Hollywood were too stoned to discern trite pretension from subtlety, nuance, and depth. There's another good review. All right. Here's the one that caught my attention, though. Why would a murderer hire a PI to investigate his own crime, particularly when the cops have nothing? I don't know. But this is what happens in Klute. And how does an apparently ordinary cop from Illinois quit his job, come to New York, place we're told he's never been, and set up a den in the basement of Jane Fonda's building, bug her phone like he's the FBI? I don't know. And then there's the fact that the man who was murdered is supposed to have been his childhood friend, but he's clearly a generation older. That pretty much sums up why I dislike this film. It's not really a thriller or a noir. It's not really attempting to copy The Big Sleep or anything like that. It's just a boring soap opera to me. It's 1 hour, 54 minutes, way too long. That's why it took me so long to do this review. But anyways, I guess I'll go down the list since Adrian added another one, an Ed Wood movie. Adrian's obsessed with Ed Wood. I used to be like that too, until I found Jerry Warren. Now I'm obsessed with Jerry Warren. All right. So tonight I'm going to try to finish Bedside Manor, a.k.a. Her Favorite Patient, 1945. And then tomorrow I'll well, actually, I take it back. I got a Netflix DVD here. This is 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. There it is, right there. Looks like another Pearl Harbor war propaganda movie. All right. So what do we got on my list? I'm not going to watch this tonight. I can't really watch my portable DVD player at work. So I'm just going to stand there and wait for the stock market to open. What does the stock market look like for tomorrow? I don't know. My Robinhood brokerage account is going up slowly, steadily, but not fast enough. Okay, Bedside Manor, a.k.a. Her Favorite Patient, 1945. Then Dark Mountain, 1944. The Crater Lake Monster, 1977. The Giant Spider Invasion. Stick, 1985. The Forest, 1982. Phantom from Space, 1953. The Dungeon of Horror, 1962. The Amazing Mr. X, 1948. Damnation Alley, 1977. Shadow Warriors 2, 1999. Law of the Jungle, 1942. Blake of Scotland Yard, 1937. Kansas City Confidential, 1952. The White Cannibal Queen, 1980. Windjammer, 1937. Swamp Fire, 1946. Police Story 4. Blood Ring, 1991. Hostile Country, 1950. Rotor. The Wrong Road, 1937. You Bet Your Life. Identity Unknown, 1945. Chain for Life, 1952. Untamed Women, 1952. Texas Brooklyn Heaven, 1948. Beast from Haunted Cave, 1959. Moon of the Wolf, 1972. Hurricane Smith, 1992. Showdown, 1993. Best of the Best 2. TNT, 1997. My Dear Secretary, 1948. The Mystery Man, 1935. Bride of the Gorilla, 1951. Letter of Introduction, 1938. Dick Tracy versus the Mole, Season 1, Episodes 9 through 12. Devil's Island, 1939. Angel Town, 1990. Mercenary, 1996. Night Fright, 1967. DEFCON 4, 1985. Santa Fe Trail, 1940. Renegade Girl, 1946. Passport for a Corpse, 1962. Black Dragons, 1942. Cyborg Cop 2. Drums of the Desert, 1940. Shock, 1946. It Lives by Night. Trained to Tombstone, 1950. Deputy Marshal, 1949. Broadway Limited, 1941. The Strange Woman, 1946. The Fighter, 1952. Bamboo Gods and Iron Men, 1974. Zero Tolerance. Ulterior Motives, 1992. The Big Chance, 1933. I'll See You in Hell, 1960. The Case of This is Three Desperate Men, 1951. The Star Packer, 1934. The Devil's Hand, 1961. My Outlaw Brother, 1951. Zero Tolerance. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Talons of the Eagle. Riders of the Whistling Pines, 1949. Portrait of Terror, The Final Curtain. Portraits of Terror. The Final Curtain. (1959). Safe and Effective, A Second Opinion, 2022. There's my list. And I better go get my pork chops and my popcorn. Check out 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. Laters.